All right, y'all. So another major flip. As y'all know, man, recruiting season is officially on fire. As you know, yesterday was a big day, but still major recruits going on right now. Obviously, you have Chris Henry Jr. You got obviously USC, Ohio State, Oregon in that conversation. So it's been crazy. I know I haven't done a lot of videos, y'all. Obviously, I did a 7-hour live stream yesterday. Y'all can go check that out on my YouTube. And I've been trying to get a lot of these articles done for recruiting. So your boy been busy. But this is another big one. Shout out to Alex Farrar. Obviously, he brought this news first. This is one I didn't really know about. I've known about a lot. Jordan Carter didn't really feel comfortable about, just in terms of I knew like there was another team there, obviously in Tennessee. And obviously, when it came out in Tico, it didn't feel like that was when they were going to land. So, they're in that conversation for several guys. I broke the one this morning, and that's obviously this one. Christian Speakman, I already knew, made the graphic for it and everything, as y'all boys can see. So I knew about this one. They got another one later today, a defensive lineman. I think they're going to likely probably get, if I'm humbly honest. But this one right here came out of left field. But I love it because this story is so cool. This is a guy that was underrated. When you look at the Gainesville offensive line, you think about obviously Tyler, right? You think about Big Red, and I'm talking about Tyler Ford. You think about Tyler Ford, you think about Big Red, Carter Mathis, 6'7", 6'8", offensive lineman, right? This guy always gets swept under the rug. But one thing I always appreciate, I've always had a great relationship with Gainesville. Their recruiting coordinator, ended up telling me like, man, yo, this is a guy you got to know about, guy you should talk about. And I remember doing a little, nothing too crazy, y'all. I just did like a little picture and a little piece on him. And, I always appreciated that. And then this is a humble kid, man. Obviously, he continued to grow and get better and better. Became a 3-star prospect after that point. Ends up committing to Louisville, obviously, in the summer in June. And it's crazy because, like I said, you never know, what can happen with this recruiting thing. And I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned. You don't know who is up next. You don't know who the next big kid is. So always show everybody love because you never know, what you might do in order to be able to help a kid. Not saying I helped this kid at all, but just that small post. I remember I did one for a Stockbridge player. That one small post, and now his dad's hit me up like, yo, thank you so much for, just putting my son out there. You just never know when it comes to recruiting. And this is when I didn't expect him to go to Georgia Tech. But it makes sense because when you look at this class, Georgia Tech only has 2 guys. Remember, he's going to go play defensive lineman, even though he was an offensive lineman at Morrow. But they only have 2 guys in this class for the offensive line. Remember, Brett Fretwell flipping and signing officially with Alabama. They only had Cortland Hurd and Courtney Hurd. And they didn't really go after Tyreek Jemison, as well, who was obviously in that conversation back in the summer. But like I said, I think they wanted an interior offensive lineman. And I think this is a good pickup. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see next year how that's going to look. Obviously, some different pieces and changes, but you're going to have Harrison Moore back. No Keelan Rutledge, so who's going to fill that right guard spot for you? I think you'll have another year of Malachi Carney. Left tackle, obviously, should be Ethan McKinney. Do you move Harrison Moore to right guard and then put Tana, I'm just going to call him Tana. Just put Tana at the center spot. That's going to be interesting to see what they do to rotate. But if Moledor can come in there and dominate, hey, you never know. He might be in that rotation. So this is a guy, great story, great kid, man, and he's continued to grind. And obviously one of the bigger flips today for Georgia Tech, and they've done it second day in a row. I know a lot of fans are going to be excited. Well, nah, it's just a 3-star prospect. Who cares? Remember, this is what Georgia Tech predicates themselves on. Obviously, they want talented 4-star prospects, but they don't mind getting kids like this, developing them, and grinding these kids out into, obviously, offensive starters. They've done it time and time again, and I think they're going to do the same thing with Moledor as long as he is patient in the process and as long as he's willing to buy in. I think he'll be the same thing, man. So this is what Georgia Tech does, man, and this is how they operate. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's going to be an underrated class, top 42, I believe it was. So still a ways to go, but definitely a big flip today.